To be straight with you, this lesson is very detailed with a lot of technical information, but it will probably have the greatest impact on your future. Some insurance is vital. Others are a waste of money. The wrong type of insurance will cost you dearly. Most of you are driving, and if you don't have the right car insurance and you have an accident, well, it could stay with you for the next 20 years. This lesson has the info to get you started on the right foot.
Please welcome nationally syndicated radio host and New York Times best-selling author, Dave Ramsey.
Well, welcome to a lesson that I almost hate teaching. I hate teaching it because it's a lesson, it's a subject that we all just love to hate. Now, I got to tell you, the deal with insurance is this. Don't you hate paying insurance? Say yes. Yes. But what I have figured out is that insurance is a big umbrella like that to protect you. Some of the things we teach you allow you to end up with more than this. This lesson is going to help you keep more of this. And so this is an important lesson. But it's just one of those subjects, it's technical, and we've got to cover the technical to keep you from getting ripped off. And I don't sell any of this stuff. And I'm not licensed in any of it. I used to have all the licenses, but I decided I didn't want anybody telling me what I could say. And so I just canceled all my licenses. Now I can say whatever I want, and they can all be mad. And I got to tell you, some of them are mad. No question about it. There's a lot of insurance people do not like this lesson. It has messed up a bunch of their lives because, well, when the consumer gets armed with information, the consumer makes different decisions. Now, I'm not against insurance. I'm just against bad insurance. You don't want to pay money that you shouldn't be paying. And when you're paying the money, you want to get the best deal for your money. Don't you say yes? Yes. All right. The basics of insurance are this. The purpose of insurance is to transfer risk. If you can't accept the risk without proper insurance, you would be bankrupt. And so if you can't accept the risk, pay a few dollars to transfer the risk of a big event that you can't handle on your own to someone else. And those few dollars are called insurance premiums. And so when you pay those insurance premiums, you transfer the risk. You put an umbrella over your life and over the hard work that you've done and over the money that you've saved and over the money you have to invest. There are 7 basic kinds of coverage. There's lots of gimmicks and twists and turns out there. We're going to talk about a lot of those. But these are the major areas of insurance that we're going to kick around tonight and make sure you get a grasp on. Homeowners or renters insurance, auto insurance, health insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, sometimes known as nursing home or in-home care insurance, identity theft protection, and, of course, life insurance. Let's begin and look at homeowners for a second. With homeowners, if you have a full emergency fund, and your full emergency fund is baby step 3, when you're fully funded with baby step 3, how much do you have in your emergency fund?
3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months of expenses. So I've got $10 or $15 or $20 or $25,000, whatever it is in your house, sitting there in cash, and I never use that money unless there is an emergency. See, now if you had $10,000 sitting there, could you run a $1,000 deductible instead of a $250 deductible safely? Say yes. Yes. Okay, and so what you do to keep your premiums down, and you already knew this, is you raise your deductible. Now sometimes raising the deductible doesn't make sense mathematically because sometimes when you look at it, it's not worth it for transferring the risk. Let me give you an example. Let's kind of think through how to do the math on when raising a deductible makes sense. Now, if you've got a $250 deductible and you raise it to a $1,000 deductible on your homeowners or on your auto for that matter, then you are taking not a $250 risk anymore. Now you're taking a $1,000 risk, so you've increased your risk by $750, right? Say it, $750. $750. So if I'm going to take $750 extra risk by going from $250 to $1,000, then I want to know, how am I going to get paid back for that risk? Now, if my premiums go down by $75 a year as a result of taking on that risk, and I've taken on $750 more in risk, 750 divided by 75 is 10 years. I got to go 10 years without an event. Probably not going to happen. Maybe in homeowners, but it probably won't happen in cars, especially if you drive around the place I drive around. So I'm not going to figure I'm going to go 10 years without a car getting bumped, right? But if instead of saving $75 a year, if I saved $750 a year, I'd only have to go 1 year without getting bumped, right? And after that, I'm in the gravy. You see how that's working? Well, that'd make a lot of sense to do that deal. The 10-year break even is not a deal that you really want to take on. So when you're raising your deductible, calculate how much risk you're taking extra, how much that's saving you, divide it out and see how long it's going to be, what your break even is on this, how long you got to go before that happens so that you make money on this.
Car insurance is expensive. You have to have it. It's to ensure that you're gonna be receiving money if you total your car, if you have full coverage, or if you hit someone else that you don't have to pay for it and go to jail, they'll pay for it, but you just gotta pay the insurance back in monthly payments or bi-monthly, however you do it.
You always have protection of your car.
Car insurance is bogus to me, but I do believe that car insurance is something that insurance companies use to gain more money for somebody, but ultimately, I do not believe that car insurance works.
Everyone that owns a car has to be insured.
I think everybody who has a car should be insured.
Auto insurance. This liability is the best buy in the insurance world. It's very inexpensive, and a lot of people trying to cut corners will get like a 150 coverage on liability. Never do that. Always take at least 500 on your property, on your liability. When you're looking at these splits on these things, always take at least a 500. It's just a few dollars, literally pennies a month, pennies a year in some cases. Liability is the best buy in the insurance world, especially when it comes to auto situations.
Auto insurance is a big deal with teenagers because it's so expensive. Comprehensive covers your car if you tear up your car or if you get in a wreck that is your fault. It covers putting your car back together. Liability covers the other guy if you get in a wreck and it's your fault. Liability is the least expensive part of your car insurance, and you should always get really good coverage limits, at least $500,000 worth of liability. Comprehensive, well, if you want your car replaced, if it gets torn up, then you need comprehensive. So I suggest comprehensive. I carry comprehensive on my car.
You could consider dropping your collision on older cars. I have not found that to be as true now as it used to be 20 years ago when I first started talking about this. Collision rates have gone down. And so again, you say, all right, I'm driving around a $6,000 car here. My collision is only $600. Well, that's 10 years that I'm taking the risk on that. Because collision is not if you tear up somebody else's car, fixes theirs. Collision is if you tear up your car, it fixes your car. And unless you've got enough cash to just write a check and buy a car, you can't drop the collision. But if you're sitting there with $50,000 or $60,000 cash, you could drop the collision. But I got to tell you, I'm in a financial position to write a check and replace my car, probably not even hardly notice as I do it, and I still carry collision. Because again, on a nicer car, it's a good value. It really ends up being a good value. So, but you can look at it and say, I'm going to look at maybe dropping the collision. I'm telling you though, up front, I haven't dropped it on any of our stuff. And it's not because I'm crazy about insurance. I'm not. I just look at what I'm paying versus the risk I'm taking. Is it worth transferring that risk for those dollars? And in that case, I felt really good about it, especially the way I drive.
It is so exciting to finally get your own car, but paying for auto insurance can be quite a letdown. Auto insurance is required by law, and as a new driver, you'll pay higher rates. The good news, there are some things you can do to keep your rates low. The type of car you drive matters. If you drive a luxury car, you'll pay extra for insurance rates. Raise your deductible. Keep a clean driving record. Ask about academic discounts for good grades and attendance. Shop around for rates. Don't assume that the insurance your parents have is the lowest price in town. If you go to college, you might still be able to stay on your parents' policy as a rider. That's an insurance term. This is usually cheaper than getting your own policy. Ask your agent what other discounts they offer. For example, it might be worth getting some type of anti-theft device. Some companies will knock as much as 20% off your premium if you have an anti-theft device installed or you've taken a driver's ed course. Understanding insurance can save you lots of money.